The Seahawks returned to practice today after their 37-31 thrilling overtime victory over the Detroit Lions. And up next for the Seahawks is the 0-2 Carolina Panthers. But don't sleep on the Panthers because they have the 8th ranked defense in the NFL. So here is some B-roll. You're going to hear from DK Metcalf, Bobby Wagner, and of course, head coach Pete.
Focus is to regain the kind of mentality that got us the kind of finish that we had last week. And so we do things right all the way through the end of the game and give ourselves that chance to win a football game. So we know we see a very hungry team coming in here. Carolina's hungry to get their win, get going. They're tough and they're physical up front. They like to run the football. They play really good up front in run and pass, terrific pass rush. This is a huge game for us, and I'm really hoping that we can find the feeling and capture the feeling of how you finish. And regardless of what happens earlier in the game, you do a good job at the end so that you have a chance to win. So that's really the focus for us this week. This is really what this day is about for us, is to deal with what happened properly, after Monday, and get back in here and put our focus back in order so that we can get ready for the next challenge. So, man, this is kind of a classic one extreme, other extreme. We had a terrific game on the road under all those circumstances, coming off the mess we put through here. So, in both directions, the previous game can cause distractions and keep you hung into whatever just happened. And we try to have a tremendous discipline about learning how to do that, so we can always come back and always get back on track. And I think it's been something we've been doing for a long time. It's a skill that guys acquire, but that we need the experiences to do it. So there were so many things that came out of this game this past week that are measurably important to us, and for learning and getting better and growing, and the lessons and all of that. The most important thing is really being disciplined about coming right back to work. What we did last week has nothing to do. For a guy that really internalized, where he really acts on it and all, I don't know. But he needs to feel the guys around him. That's what's more important. So they feel the leadership, and that's exactly what we learned last week. And the leadership can give them insights that they wouldn't be able to get to on their own, and so they just kind of follow along. So that's why it's important that we verbalize and point out the illustrations and try to get better. It's not like one time you just tell them and then they figure it out. This is how many times can you keep coming back to the same theme and from a different way in a creative manner, so that the guys, you capture more guys to learn and understand and take advantage of. Some things going on. I'm not paying attention to it yet. There's something coming up on Friday. I know it's happening. I told the players about it and all that. Other than that, we're not going to do much with it, until whatever we have to do. We'll see the guys on Saturday. I hope a bunch of them, walk through, and then I'm so proud that they're coming back, and they'll have a blast. Just seeing each other and being together and all that. That'll be the best part of it. Them just getting together. So it's a nice thing the club's doing. It's a beautiful anniversary. So we'll hope they have a great time. They're tough up front on the run and rushing the passer. Their technique's solid and scheme-wise good. They look for their chances to highlight their guys in the rush. They got a fantastic rusher in Burns. It's just a good group in every way. If Shaq doesn't play, I'm not sure how that goes here. Without him, he's a really good player too, and so that would be somewhat of a loss. But they're learning. This is a really good group.
I'm not going to do this every week, but I wanted to take some time to announce that I'm partnered with the Seahawks and Virginia Mason Franciscan Health with Fast 54. And basically Fast 54 is to create awareness around stroke. The fund is under my mom's name, the Feeney and May Fund. I did it in a comic book form. So when you guys go back to where you guys reside, there's a comic book waiting for you guys so you guys can read it. But pretty much this is what I thought would be a fun, interesting way to kind of raise some awareness around stroke, the prevention of stroke. The donations, if you donate $54, it goes to the stroke patients and their rehabilitation. Obviously, you guys know this is something extremely important to me. My mom suffered from one a long time ago, and every year I've been trying to figure out ways to do something different to kind of raise awareness, and I still feel like there still needs to be a little bit more awareness raised around this topic, and so I feel like I'm the perfect candidate to raise awareness. So I would love the support of Seattle and pretty much the whole city to come help me make this a big deal. We'll be doing fun things throughout the city with this comic, whether it's within the city or within the community. And I'm excited about this partnership. I think it's going to be really, really cool. There's a lot of information, not enough for me to be able to memorize and say to you guys. So any other, if you want more information, go to Seahawks.com. We'll be putting some out here shortly after this interview. I really just want to thank the Seahawks and Virginia Mason Franciscan Health for putting this together, making this thing a very, very special deal for me. I'm excited about it. Hopefully you guys get behind it. And I think it's going to be a really, really unique opportunity, and I'm looking forward to doing something fun. This is always on my mind. I wanted to take a second to shout out my pops. And the reason I wanted to shout out, over the years, I lost my mom. There's been so much focus on me losing her and how much of a rock she is to me and what she meant to me when she was alive and still present. And I don't feel like he always gets his just due. He's been very, very present in my life. He's been a very strong role model for me. And I just wanted to say thank you because, he's also the reason why I'm here. He's the reason why I am who I am today. It took me becoming a father to understand how hard it is to be one. And I'm grateful to have him alive enough to give us the attention that we want, from him, being gone working all day. And so just the ability to be able to balance and how much we should appreciate that. I remember having a conversation with him a very long time ago, and I might have been complaining about some things that happened growing up, and he kind of said, like, there's no playbook, you just do the best that you can. And when he said that, it really hit me, like, because I was, obviously I had, children of my own, and so that's exactly kind of how I felt. And so really that as well, just using the tools that you have and really doing the best you can, putting the people around you in the best position possible, and hopefully they take it further than you did. I feel like we're doing good. Obviously we've been challenged the first 2 weeks, 2 really good run teams, but I feel like every week we're getting better, which I think that's what you want. You want to get better every week. We understand that they're going to do everything they can to take a little bit of load off the rookie quarterback. So, we got to make sure that we stop the run game, put the ball in his hands, but then also understand that he's capable of making throws. And, you see kind of towards the end of the game, he can use his legs and create positive plays for them as well. So, once you stop the run, then you have to stop the pass, and then you have to be ready for him, getting out of the pocket and using his legs to provide like positive plays for them. So it's going to be a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
It hurt to laugh.
It just gives them a perspective that the game is never over, and just to always keep fighting and always, they hear Pete talk about, finishing or do right longer all the time, and they really haven't been in that, position to, see us, go through that type of scenario. So, just for us to get a win of that caliber, and just for us to finish the way that we did, I think, it just gives us a energy boost, and gives the young guys some experience, in that type of scenario.
Okay, so there you have it. As I said, some B-roll from, and then you heard from Pete Carroll, DK Metcalf, and also Bobby Wagner. And off the field, the Seahawks signed Artie Burns to their 53-man roster. They elevated him from the practice squad, and that makes sense because if you remember against the Detroit Lions, Reek Woolen suffered a, something to his chest, and then Trey Brown came in and played admirably, getting the interception and the fumble. Brown gives them a little bit more flexibility in there, just in case Woolen can't go. And Pete said, we'll have to just wait and see from day to day. And other injury update, I should say, Jamal Adams practiced today, and you'll see the injury report later on in the video, and that'll give you, update on some of the other players. Like Pete said, Will Dissly also has kind of a, something with his shoulder. And in addition, so to give them depth, the Seahawks signed Brady Russell to the practice squad. And other than that, what this week is really about is the Seahawks channeling their win, right? It's okay. We won, and we finished. We did it late. Take that positive, and as I said, against the Carolina Panther team, look, it's the NFL. On any given week, if you don't execute, you can lose. And so the Panthers are going to try to kind of flip the script 3 times. That is, the Seahawks went into Ford Field, beat the home team. Well, that's what the Panthers will try to do. So, from the VMAC in Seattle, I'm Asvita Mare.